Good morning, good morning, good morning. Whatever reason it is, this is attempt number 18 at the intro. I just keep getting interrupted, and like, it's nuts. My phone keeps going blip, 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 blip. People are calling me. I'm trying to do the vlog, people. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're having a great day or night. It's Mike here. We're reselling, we're making money. I'm back in the van. The shocks and struts were fixed on the van, but we have a clank noise, some kind of swing bar or sway bar. I don't know, I'm not a mechanic, I'll be honest with you. I can barely change a tire. Not sure if you can hear this clanking. Sounds like there's a transformer in the, the engine there. The guy says, oh, you should be fine to drive on that. Let's hope so. We're gonna get that resolved hopefully tonight. So, but the car does drive a lot better. It's a lot. It's not like a boat. So today's video, guys, I'll show you what's sold recently in the past couple days. I've been staying busy, listing items, putting items on sale, also liquidating. Liquidating a lot of items, just blow up prices, just to get rid of some stuff. So we're gonna just kind of stay busy. I might hit a thrift shop today. Who knows? You never know. And with that being said, let's see what we do today. So I'm really happy that the van's fixed there to some extent. There's always something to change on it or to replace as it starts to age, that's for sure. Gonna be doing a lot more of those thrift videos, so I'm gonna be traveling a lot. I just wanted to make sure the car was in tip-top shape before I start traveling out and about. I'm not gonna be going anywhere crazy at the moment. I'm just gonna be hitting Arizona here because there's a boat ton of thrift shops in Phoenix and Tucson and the other regions that are out there. So I think I can easily hit 50 stores here in a good time frame. And you know, I'm really excited about the adventure and finding out what we can find at the thrift shops. You know, I've got so much stuff still in the garage that I got to list. I got a lot of work. So I've been really busy the past couple days just listing items, looking at items, saying, is this really worth taking a photograph? Is this really worth selling online? And you know, I'm making some piles here because it's getting nice out. The lows right now are like 63 in the morning, and it's pretty nice at night, so I can work in the garage. Really trying to build up a bunch of stuff so I can have a garage sale, maybe slash flea market. There's a couple opportunities coming up. There's one in October where I might just go to this community sale and bring my trailer there and say, let's just get rid of this stuff, because I've got some big plans in the future of what I want to do with my trailer and also the stuff that's in the garage. I need the space. So I'm giving myself a time frame where if we can't get rid of this stuff, I'm just going to have no choice but to donate it. The great thing about all that is that, you know, everything that I pretty much have in the garage or in the trailer or my storage shed, it's already been paid for over and over and over, right? They were big bulk buys or single buys where, you know, all this stuff's just gravy at the end of the day. So if I have to donate some of it because it's not worth selling online or if it won't sell locally, it's not going to be a big deal. Plus, I get a tax write-off. Got a question here from Silver Lumberjack. I'm new to reselling. I was wondering, how do you know what shipping to choose for each item? Would love to hear back from you, Mike. Thanks for the question, Silver Lumberjack. Appreciate you watching the channel. Appreciate all you guys watching the channel. So let's dive into the question there. Basically, what you got to know is ahead of time, before you make that listing, before you actually hit submit so it's active, you got to know how much your item weighs, right? This is why I do a lot of pre-packaging of every item here, especially the bigger items. When you start to do a lot of clothing, a lot of hats, you start to realize that those things are typically going to ship first class. So they're going to be about under $4, give or take. So that's what you'd be doing with items under 16 ounces. Is most of that's first class, t-shirts, hats, some crew necks, dress shirts, etc. But if you're dealing with bigger items, this is where it can be a little, I wouldn't say it's complicated, but you got to get yourself in a habit of pre-packaging that item, putting it on a scale, and making sure it weighs correctly. And then what you could do is you have many options. You could do calculated shipping. You can have shipping on there, you can have free shipping, but you gotta know the cost of the shipping ahead of time, right? Now you might be thrown off and say, hey, well, I got this big boom box, right, that weighs 30 pounds. Well, then what I would do with that, honestly, is package it up, get the dimensions on it, get the weight, and just add shipping there, right? Have calculated shipping on there, you know, so if a buyer buys it from California or Florida, whatever it is, you're covered on that. Or you can make a flat price for the shipping. If you say, okay, let me look up the price of that item from, let's say you're in Michigan to Arizona here, let's say it's $47, right? but to Michigan, shipping to Michigan, it's only $18. Just put $35 on it. Whatever it is, you got to find what works for you, but most importantly is understand the weights of the items that you're listing, right? A lot of people also too go by the scenery of if it weighs 40 pounds, it's about $1 a pound. So you could do something similar to that. But at the end of the day, don't hit that Sibit listing. Don't make that active listing active unless you know your weights, because you got to know your shipping costs. I know a lot of people, when they first start off, they sit there and they get all excited. Hey, I sold this shirt or this sweater, right, for $14 ship, my first eBay sale. But when they weighed it, they're like, oh my God, it's 3 pounds, and I can't stick it in a flat rate envelope. Now you're running a problem. Now you've run a problem where it's going to cost you more money. So always know your costs ahead of time. Always know your shipping costs. And I guarantee you this is once you start getting used to reselling, once you start listing items and you are taking the time to pre-package, weigh items, it's going to be smooth cake, because over time you're just going to say, hey, it's a t-shirt. That thing weighs 8 to 10 ounces, give or take. It's going first class. Get it shipped for about $3.30. And you just factor that into your cost, or you actually add it to your cost of the item. Let's say you're selling it for 15 bucks, $11 plus $4 shipping, whatever it is. Either way, you got to find out what works for you. Let's dive on into what's sold the past couple days. Start off here with Amazon. This is a Circus of Power self-titled audio cassette tape. This came out of a storage unit, might have had a nickel in it. This was a unit I picked up last year with a bunch of cassette tapes. Made a video in the past somewhere on my channel here. Anyway, sold for $8.50 plus $3.99 shipping for a total of $12.49 shipped. On to Etsy, paid $1 for this at a garage sale. 1997 University of Michigan Wolverines National Champions Vintage Snapback Hat. Sold on Etsy for $11 plus $4 shipping for a total of $15 shipped. Another garage sale find for $1. 1990s Seattle Seahawks Corduroy Vintage Snapback Hat. This sold for $16 plus $4 shipping for a total of $20 shipped. Moving on to eBay, I paid $1 for this hat some time ago. It sat in a box in my trailer for a long time. I pulled it out last week, listed it, and sold. It's a Ralph Lauren Polo Sky Blue White Pony Cotton Strapback Dad Hat. Sold for $21 plus $4 shipping for a total of $25 shipped. Paid $5 for this at a flea market. It's a Montana Silversmith's Western Cowboy Silver Turquoise Gem Vintage Belt Buckle. This sat on eBay for close to 5 months. Finally sold for $36 plus $4 shipping for a total of $40 shipped. Showed you guys this recently. Paid $1 for it at a garage sale. It's cool. Men's Luxor green check pearl snap polyester S/S for short sleeve. Casual shirt medium. Sold within 2 days on eBay for $21 plus $4 shipping for a total of $25 shipped. All right, we sold the first item from the Thrift Challenge. If you guys remember this Brooks Brothers shirt, I paid $1 for it in Casa Grande. This shirt, after further investigation, had some stains on it. It looked like there were some coffee stains that were very light on the shirt, and the only way I noticed them was actually when I was steaming it. But anyway, I decided to list it, and it sold. Brooks Brothers men's blue small check button 9-iron dress shirt, 15.5, 34/35 for $11 plus $4 shipping for a total of $15 shipped. Sold within days. This came out of a local estate buy from a couple years ago. Maybe have $1 in this, and originally I had it at Amazon. It sat over at Amazon's FBA warehouse for a year and a half. Could not move this thing at all, so I sent it back. Listed on eBay. It sold. Barbie Workout Center playset 1984 Mattel 7975 vintage toy with box in new condition. It took less than 2 months to sell on eBay for $55.02 shipped. Here's another item that I got out of a storage unit last year. Maybe have 10 cents in this item, and I'm going to be honest. I was lazy and I just did not want to list this item for whatever reason it was. It sat in my garage for close to, 10 to 11 months. Just slacking, man. Decided to list it. Sold within 3 days on eBay. Monopoly The Beatles 2008 Collector's Edition board game with box. New sealed. And this sold for $44.35 shipped. We sold another one of these penny DVD disc onlys from the Goodwill. It was funny because I asked Kim, I said, Kim, you want to watch Pet Sematary? And she's like, hell no. We're not big movie buffs when it comes to horror stuff, that's for sure. So I was actually interested in seeing it, but I'm like, whatever, let's just sell it. Never going to have time to watch it anyway. Pet Sematary DVD 2006 Special Collector's Edition. Stephen King, disc only. Sold for $4.75, shipped. Here's a consignment deal, selling this for a friend. It's a Budweiser King of Beers, Bud Chase NASCAR Dale Earnhardt women's jacket, size medium. Could not fit this on my woman's mannequin. Decided to use the old hanger. Sold in less than 30 days for $28 plus $7 shipping for a total of $35 shipped. Just dawned on me a little while ago that I haven't really been showing anything Macari lately, and not sure why I haven't been sharing it. Anyway, the NES video games that I picked up at that thrift shop, the system and the games I decided to list on the app Mercari, and fast flip, this Kirby's, what is this one? Kirby's Adventure from the NES, cartridge only, listed this for $21 with free shipping, and sold within 1 hour on Mercari. Believe it or not, this price of $21 was a little higher than what the lowest prices were on eBay, so I was pretty happy with this return. Again, Mercari charges 10% now. They used to be free back in the day, but 10%. Just happy it's sold. What I did is I averaged out the price point here of all the video games in the system and broke it down by piece count. So I divided $45, what I paid for the lot, divided by X dollar amount, and I came up to about $5.53 in each item, which some of those games I'll be selling. It'll look like a loss, but I'll recover and profit definitely off of the NES system once it sells. Working on some listings here, and just looking on eBay, because I usually run sales pretty consistently on eBay through the Markdown Manager. I know that changed to that new deal that they have, and I realized over the weekend I didn't run a sale at all, and it kept giving me an error. Then it said it was active. So I don't know if any of you guys are trying to run that sales through the marketing option there on eBay, but I couldn't get to work. And then about 5 minutes ago, I ran another one starting today to just for like 24 or 48 hours, and that one went through. So I don't know if there was a glitch over the weekend where you couldn't mark down prices on items. If that happened to you, leave a comment down below. I'm interested to see that, because I was trying to run it, and it said it was active, but there was no action. There was no data. It didn't say there was any views or anything of that nature. So, plus I kept refreshing the store, and I didn't see anything on sale. So I'm sure while eBay is rolling that out there are some hiccups. There's always hiccups with eBay when they're doing something new. So we'll see if this drives any sales, see if it does anything. I don't care what it does as long as the items sell. Kim and I last night were talking about stores that were in the malls back when we were growing up, and 80s and 90s, and we were trying to figure out, hey, what was the name of that store? So what we did is we, it was just crazy. We just typed in YouTube, hey, 90s mall, and there was a guy doing a walkthrough of a mall back in like 87, and we're walking by the store. He's walking by the stores, showing the stores, and then we were like, oh my God, we used to go there, like stores like Merry-Go-Round. They were huge. Merry-Go-Round they owned all these different other little fashion stores, and it's interesting because if you go back and look at some of that stuff, especially if you're into the vintage clothing, like Cross Colors, for example, that was sold at Merry-Go-Round, and there were some other brands that were out there, like Skids, but they were like the fashion, trendy type mall store. But it was interesting just watching the mentality, right? Like, it was so amazing as a kid going to the malls and just from store to store to store, and now, fast forward 30 years, it's almost like they don't really exist, or, you go there and it's just plain old Jane, because you got the internet now. You got Amazon, you got eBay. I mean, everything is at your fingertips. And it's interesting to see, I know I watch some other YouTube channels where they do abandoned mall series, which is great. And they go through these old malls, and, there's one right down the street from my house here in Casa Grande, and it's right on the highway. It's completely abandoned. And at one point, I guess it was a thriving strip mall, but no more. And I find that it's sad, but I find it interesting. It's like, well, what could you have done to remain there, right? And I don't know if there's an answer to that. And I keep thinking about that. Like, what could these stores have done to maintain and still stay in the malls? What could the mall have done to attract more customers? It's definitely an interesting subject, because it kind of relates to reselling. It kind of relates to, when things start to get flooded or they're not in trend anymore, you know, what do you do? And I think that's the $1,000,000 question: is where do you keep going? You know, and I think that's the most important thing, is where you got to keep moving forward. You got to keep looking at, you know, where's your business going to be in 3 months from now, 9 months from now, 2 years from now, 10 years from now. And it's a shame, you know, because you know, places like the Sam Goodies and you know, all these stores that were just out and about there, now it's all transformed online. And but it's definitely interesting to check it out. If you guys are bored one day, go on YouTube and just type in malls. You'll see people that had home video footage of malls. They're walking around with their camcorder. And then there was actually malls commercials. And it's a great way to look at like a rabbit hole. And you start looking at a store like Merry-Go-Round and going, oh man, what brands are in there? Are those brands worth any money if you find them at the thrift? Like, for example, obviously Cross Colors is a pretty superior brand there that if you find it, it's pretty rare, because they was only out for, you know, a certain amount of years. And to find it in a thrift's pretty wild. I think I've found maybe 3 or 4 in my lifetime of thrifting, but you know, it's definitely interesting. You know, any of that stuff from back in the day, the 80s and 90s, for people like myself that, you know, you don't have it anymore. You reminisce and you go, hey, okay, can I still buy that? And you go to places like eBay or Etsy or Amazon. And you look for these things so you get it back. And now, you know, the younger generation of kids, you know, they're first watching the Tupac videos and Notorious B.I.G. and all the rap guys from the 90s, and they want to wear the Connie shirts, right? They want to wear the Coogee sweaters, you know, and it's definitely interesting. So if you're a thrifter, it's good stuff to look and to see where these brands are, see what these clothing labels are. There's a lot of resources online that talk about it. My channel here, I talk about a lot of vintage wear, but it's definitely interesting to see the transformation of how malls are surviving in 2017. Thanks for watching today's video, guys. I super appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up button. Hopefully you're out there making some cashola. You're doing some picking, getting some listing done. Make it happen. Go out there and be great. Till next time, I'm out of here. Peace. Vlog over.